Hi everyone, in this specific video, I'll be talking about nitric oxide and why athletes are meant to consume sources which provide nitric oxide. Let's jump onto the screen and let's start with the video. First thing, we'll be dealing with sources, functions in regarding to nitric oxide, how to increase nitric oxide and nitric oxide supplements. Alright, so first of all, it's really important that we get a better understanding about the sources. So as you can see out here, we have beetroot, we have garlic, we have meat, we have kale, we have cabbage. These are one of the most wonderful sources of nitric oxide. So whenever I say the word nitric oxide, the first thing which should come up is all of these. So, as you are an athlete, just associate nitric oxide as couple of sources which I've mentioned out here. Alright, cool. Now let's get a bit of brief on what is nitric oxide. So first of all, nitric oxide is a form of gas and it is being produced in our body itself. The thing is that once after we cross our childhood, each and every decade will be losing 10% of nitric oxide, the ability to make this specific gas. And that is why we are meant to consume food sources and supplement sources which provide nitric oxide. So, all of these sources, there are mainly four sources: nitrate, nitrite, L-arginine, and L-citrulline. These are precursors. So, consider precursors as something as a spark which can light out the gas. So precursors, they help uh, in the production of nitric oxide in our body. So it is necessary to consume precursors so that our body could generate nitric oxide. Awesome. Uh, Now why do we need it? As I told you, we decrease it as we go with the age, around 10% each and every specific decade. Now let's go down towards the functions which are super important for athletes. First thing is vasodilation. Now what does this mean? I can explain this with a simple example. So consider a specific pipe, and if you increase the pressure of water flowing through the pipe, uh, there are likely chances that the pipe could burst out or form some cracks because the pipe won't be able to handle down the pressure. In the similar way, we have veins in our body, blood vessels in our body. So, our blood vessels have the ability to dilate, which means expand and contract. Now, what nitric oxide does, it expands our blood vessels, which gives us better ability to pass on blood throughout different parts of body, and it causes less stress on our heart. I guess you would have seen this that athletes heartbeat, right? So it's way faster than compared to a normal individual, which means our heart works much on a vigorous scale when compared to a normal individual. So we need nitric oxide to be uh, produced in our body in an optimum quantity so that we reduce the amount of pressure. And when blood circulates throughout our body, what really occurs is we tend to perform better, improve our performance, and win in medals. So, this could be a simple thing, but it plays a vital role in bringing your 1 2 second or an inch of performance. As you can see out here, this is on a contracted state and vasodilated state. Now, this specific part, neurotransmitters. We need nitric oxide so that we pass on signals throughout our body. So, from a peripheral nervous system, central nervous system, it connects all of it and helps us move. So, if I'm moving my hand at this specific movement, I do have nitric oxide in my body, so that it sends signals up from my palm to my brains and brains to my palm. So, in order to transmit signals, we need to consume or we need to produce good amount of nitric oxide. So, in regarding to immune system, what nitric oxide does is that it provides protection against viruses and bacteria. And regarding to platelet function and wound healing, I guess I can explain this with a simple enough example. Let me just go on to my drawing board. Continue trial. Consider this is a skin, alright, our skin surface. So if we get impacted by one or other thing, it leads on to a specific wound. Now then, how it occurs is the skin. Now we have a wound out here. This is a wound out here. There is a wound out here, and there are a number of platelets which passes through our veins. Now, whenever there is a specific wound, all of these platelets would gather out here. They'll form a bunch and they will form a solid structure. Including this, there will be a specific fibrous protein which will coil them, so which will hold them together and let the platelets stay so that the other red blood cells they could easily pass throughout our blood vessels, and as the time passes by this goes off. So what nitric oxide does in this specific case is that it regulates the whole process. Neither it exceeds uh, the amount of the process, neither it decreases it down. Now, it also helps in gastrointestinal function, airway function, as I have already talked about. That vasodilation takes place. It helps to pass down blood and oxygen throughout our body, and cellular signaling. So, works as a wonderful neurotransmitter. Now, how to increase nitric oxide? These are a couple of things. So, amino acids, L-arginine and L-citrulline, where we can consume in a supplement in order to boost it down, or we can consume natural food, which are nitrite and nitrates, so our body could get the signal and our body could start producing nitric oxide. Uh, we can exercise as you are an athlete. Obviously, this is a specific recommendation which I uh, need not make. Alright, now moving on to breathing. So, breathing is something which really helps in order to enhance nitric oxide production, where our air passes through a nasal cavity on our olfactory function. So, in order to sort this out, it's better that you consult a yoga trainer. At least get in good sessions of pranayama, a wonderful source. Now, exposing ourselves to sunlight also helps in increasing nitric oxide production. So, out here, as you can see in this specific picture, 15% to 100%. The space out here is very less when compared to the 100% nitric oxide. So, this is something which is done in hospitals by providing straight gas in a required quantity. But this also depicts a decent enough understanding on what nitric oxide does to our body and our blood vessels. Nitric oxide can be produced eating food rich in, look, as I told you, we can consume nitrate, nitrite, L-arginine, and L-citrulline. So these are the major four. There are a couple of others too. So finally, coming down to the supplements, we have L-arginine and L-citrulline. I'll surely recommend go for the whole foods. If it's required, then go down to L-arginine and L-citrulline. Awesome. So these are a couple of few things that as an athlete you can do so that your performance increases. It's not a big deal to consume. Beetroot, garlic, meat, kale, carrots, and bunch of other green leafy vegetables so that you enhance your performance. So the time which you're spending on working out and the number of years you're willing to put in this athletic journey make it worthful. And even after this, what I would recommend is stay athletic. Awesome. Hope you got some decent enough knowledge in regarding to nitric oxide and how nitric oxide can improve your sports performance. So until then, I'll come up with a new video. Take care.